Welcome to Blogging Made Easy. I'm going to show you how to write engaging posts in record time using ChatGPT. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Andrea, and I started blogging way back in 2007. Now, my blog was about beauty and fashion, and I made money through affiliate marketing. One of the biggest challenges I had was coming up with different and unique ideas of what to post. And I will say that it also took a lot of time to put posts together and making sure that they were optimized for SEO. And I just keep thinking, if I only had ChatGPT back then, I could have saved so much time and frustration. So the goal of this training is to show you how you can use AI to simplify your entire blog writing process, from planning your blog to idea generation and writing engaging posts. Now, before starting your blog, it's essential that you have a clear picture of your customer avatar. You want to create a detailed profile of your ideal customer. Having this information is super important, not only for you, but for the AI, as it will help to ensure the content it generates is personalized to your ideal customer. Without it, you might find yourself struggling to create content tailored to your audience's needs and preferences. Now, if you don't already have a detailed customer avatar profile, you'll need to create one, and it should have at least the following details: the demographics, which are like the age, gender, location, etc., their psychographics, their values, interests, lifestyle, etc. Their pain points and challenges, like what problems are they facing that your blog could help solve. And their goals and desires. Now, if you need help getting started, I did a workshop last week on how to create your perfect customer avatar in minutes using ChatGPT. Now, it's only about 20 minutes, but it shows you how to get started and even provides you with a prompt that you can use. Now let's talk about starting your blog. If you're just getting started with blogging or thinking about starting a blog, there are certain key decisions you need to make. And just so you know, you can use AI to help you with these. The first, and one of the most important, is to decide on the primary goal of your blog. So when deciding on the goal, think about, what do you want your blog content to achieve? Do you want to educate people, build authority, drive traffic? What types of results do you want from your content? More followers, increased engagement, sales conversions, etc. Now, while some blogs have a single focus, many combine multiple goals. For example, you might want to share your expertise while also promoting products or monetizing through affiliate links. Having a clear sense of your goals will help you create a blog that aligns with your overall vision. Now that you're clear on your goal, you want to decide on the overall topic or niche of your blog. Now, here are some things to consider when deciding on a niche. Your expertise. What topics do you have special knowledge or skills? This could be related to your job, a hobby, or something you're formally or informally educated in. Your audience. You want to consider the needs and problems of your potential readers. What solutions or advice can you offer that will help them? Now, it's important to choose a topic that aligns with your goal and one that your audience would genuinely be interested in and benefit from. You also want to think about sustainability. Think about whether the topic will provide enough content ideas over the long term. You also might want to think about whether you will still be passionate about this topic a year or 2 years from now. Your blog's name is the first thing people will notice, and it plays a big part in how your brand is perceived. Now, it's helpful if the blog name and domain are the same or closely related. But if you're new to blogging and not ready to commit to registering a domain name yet, that's totally okay. You can still decide on the blog name now and worry about registering the domain later. Now, when deciding on a name for your blog, you'll want to make it memorable. Your blog name should be easy to remember and ideally easy to spell. The simpler it is, the easier it will be for people to remember. You want to avoid using complicated words, numbers, or symbols that could confuse your audience. Your blog name should give people a hint about what your blog is about. Now, it doesn't have to describe your niche exactly, but it should fit the overall theme of your blog. If you're planning to register a domain, you want to make sure you check for domain availability to make sure it's available. So if the exact domain isn't available, you can try small variations like adding blog to the end of the domain name. Before settling on a name or registering a domain, you want to do a quick online search to ensure it's not already trademarked or being used by another business. Now, this can save you from legal trouble down the road. The colors and fonts you choose for your blog play an important role in how your audience perceives it. Colors can invoke certain emotions and set the tone, while fonts impact readability and the overall feel of your blog. So when deciding on colors and fonts, you want to choose a color scheme. Pick colors that represent your brand or your vibe that you want for your blog. Make sure they're easy on the eyes and work well together. You want to pick fonts that are easy to read. Stick with 1 or 2 fonts for your blog, one for heading and one for the body text. You want to make sure they're clear and legible on both computers and phones. Now let's talk about monetization. Monetizing your blog can be a great way to make money, but you want to keep in mind that it often takes time to build up enough traffic and audience engagement to see results. Depending on your blog's niche, your audience, and the overall strategy, here are some different options to consider when monetizing your blog. Now, the first is affiliate marketing. You can write reviews or recommend products or services related to your niche, including affiliate links where you earn a commission if readers make a purchase through your link. You can sell digital products such as ebooks, online courses, printables, or even services like coaching and consulting. You can also do sponsored posts or ads. You can partner with brands to create sponsored content that promotes their products or services, or even use platforms like Google AdSense to display ads on your blog. And you can also use platforms like Patreon or Ko-Fi to allow your readers to support your work through donations. You also want to decide how often you're going to post on your blog. Having a regular schedule is key to building a loyal audience and keeping your readers engaged. It's also helpful so you can stay on track when posting. And so I'm not going to get too much into the tech aspect of blogging, but I did want to spend a couple minutes talking about blogging platforms. Now, this is basically where your blog is going to live, and the platform you choose will depend on your needs. So whether you want something simple to get started right away or like a more customizable option that gives you control over every detail. Regardless of what platform you choose, there is going to be a learning curve, just like everything. So it will take you some time to learn how to use it. If you're just starting out and don't want to register a domain, here are some options for you. The first is WordPress.com. It's the hosted version. This is best for someone looking to get started without dealing with all of the tech or purchasing hosting. It's less flexible, offers fewer customization options, and it has limited monetization options unless you upgrade to a higher plan. There's also Medium. This is best for someone who just wants to focus purely on writing and doesn't want to deal with any of the setup, hosting, or design. Now, there are limited monetization options, less control over your site, and you truly don't own your platform or your audience. Next is Substack. Now, this is for those of you that want to build a paid newsletter/blog hybrid. Now, they have a simple setup, built-in payment systems for subscriptions. You can grow an audience while monetizing your content. However, there is limited customizations. It's primarily focused on newsletters rather than blogs. If you have a domain and you want more control over your blog, here are some options to consider. WordPress.org, this is the self-hosted version. This is best if you want complete control over your site. You can purchase a theme or choose from thousands of free themes, and you can monetize it however you like. However, you do need to purchase hosting, and it requires a bit of technical knowledge as you'll need to handle the hosting, security, and backups yourself. Although it does depend on the host you choose. Some of the hosts do this for you, but it comes with a price. Next, there's Squarespace. Now, this is good if you want a blog that's more visually driven. It offers templates, design options, and built-in hosting. However, there is limited customization. And then Wix is also good for beginners who want an easy drag-and-drop solution to build a simple blog. There are limited design and customization options compared to WordPress. It's not as flexible for scaling, and its SEO capabilities are somewhat weaker. These are just a few of the options available. There are a number of others out there that you can use. You really need to pick something that fits your situation and comfort level with tech. Alright, so now that you've made the key decisions for the foundation of your blog, it's time to think about the topics and ideas you'll write about. One way to make planning easier is by creating a content idea bank, a list of blog post ideas that you can add to and refer back to whenever you need inspiration. This way you'll always have fresh ideas ready, even when you're not sure what to write about next. And so there are several methods you can use to build your idea bank, depending on your blog's focus, your style, and your audience's needs. I'm going to show you just a few. The content pillars or buckets. Now, this is a popular one. Content pillars are the main topics or broad categories that your blog consistently covers. They serve as the foundation of your content, helping you stay focused and aligned with your blog's overall goals and your audience's interests. Now, these pillars organize your content into key areas, making it easier to plan and create posts that are relevant and engaging for your readers. Once you've established your pillars, you can break them down into themes to create detailed content under each pillar. Next is customer journey mapping. This involves creating content that supports your audience at different stages of their journey toward achieving a specific goal. Now, this journey could be anything from solving a problem, purchasing a product, or even learning a new skill. Customer journey mapping helps you create content that is tailored to where your audience is on their path to solving a problem or reaching a goal. So rather than creating general content, you're aligning your blog posts with a specific stage of the journey, offering them relevant information exactly when they need it. There's also pain points and FAQs. Now, this approach involves identifying the most common pain points or frequently asked questions your audience has and creating content that directly addresses them. It's all about offering solutions and answering the pressing questions your audience has. Next is trends. Now, this method focuses on creating content around trending topics in your niche. So whether it's a new product launch, industry news, or even a popular movement, trend-based content allows you to stay relevant by aligning your posts with what's currently popular or top of mind for your audience. Next, there's content series. Now, a series involves creating multiple posts around a specific theme, and it's kind of like a mini series of blog posts that explore different aspects of a larger topic. And the last one I'm going to talk about is the personal storytelling method. Now, this involves using your own experiences or the stories of others to create engaging blog posts. As I mentioned, these are just a few methods you can use. Also, you don't need to just stick to one specific method. You can use multiple approaches when creating a list of ideas for blog posts for your blog. Now, once you have your ideas, it's time to start creating content. In this section, I'll show you how to take the strategies we've discussed and turn them into blog posts. Let's start with the process of writing your blog post. Now, this is a process that I follow. You don't have to follow it exactly. It really depends on your situation and how you like to work. First is you want to decide on the topic. Next, create an outline. When writing a blog post, it can be helpful to start with an outline so you can stay organized when writing. Now, creating an outline first can help you have more control over the content the AI creates for you. If you don't like part of the outline, you can more quickly and easily make changes. This is especially helpful if you have a very long blog post that you're creating. It also depends on the format of your blog post. For example, if you're creating a listicle post, an outline can kind of feel like a waste of time. Next is generate keywords. You can ask the AI to generate relevant keywords that you can include in your blog post to improve SEO. And then, depending on the length of your blog post, you can ask the AI to write the whole post at once, or if your blog post is long, you can ask it to write one section of the blog post at a time so you can have more control over the process. Now, when asking the AI to help you create content, the more information you provide in the prompt, the more likely the content will be tailored to your preferences. So let's talk about some tips for writing blog posts using AI. The first is you want to specify the tone and style or your brand voice. Doing this, make sure that the AI writes content in your unique voice. You can provide it samples of your writing and your writing style guide. You want to let the AI know how long the blog post should be. You can specify an exact number or give it a range. One thing you never want to do is just give it a minimum. For example, you don't want to say, write a blog post of at least 900 words, because it will write a really long blog post for you, because it's not going to know when to stop. A better way would be to give it like a minimum and a maximum. For example, write a blog post between 900 and 1200 words. That way it knows and it won't go on forever. If you have specific key points you want the post to include, it's helpful to provide the AI the main points or sections you want to cover. If you want examples or stories in the post, you can ask the AI to include them. It's also helpful to provide it with a direction and specifics about what type of examples and stories you want it to include. If you want your post to be in a specific format, you'll want to provide it with those details. And something else you can do is ask it for multiple versions. You can ask the AI to write different versions so you can choose the one that works best. I have shared so much information with you in just a short amount of time. So I want to do a demo to show you how quick it is to write a blog post using ChatGPT. And for simplicity's sake, I'm going to use my custom GPT, Carnivore Kate. This is trained on my customer avatar, Kate, who obviously from the name likes the carnivore diet. diet. She's a beginner for the carnivore diet. And if you don't have a customer avatar GPT, all you need to do is attach your customer avatar profile to the conversation. All right, so let's talk about ideas. Now, I'm not going to generate a huge idea bank, but I am just going to ask it to generate a list of ideas based on pain points my customer avatar has. What I also did was had it suggest a format for the post. Now, if you're creating an idea bank, you don't necessarily need to have it suggest a format, but it can be helpful if you want it to be more specific. All right, so let's take a look at these results. How to start the carnivore diet when you're overwhelmed. Navigating social gatherings on the carnivore diet. Quick and easy carnivore-friendly meals. Affordable carnivore diet. Balancing nutrition. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have it write the outline for me, just so you can see that. And then I'll do another one. I'll do the listicle where we can just have it write the full blog post at once. But let me do this one first. I'm just going to highlight it, put it in the conversation. And then I'm just going to say, create a brief outline for this idea. And so it's going to create a brief outline for me. And I'm actually purposely not giving it a lot of information so you can see what it does. Now, if I provided it with more details about the specific outline I wanted, it would obviously give me different results that are more tailored to what I want. But actually, this outline isn't terrible. It's actually pretty long, step 6. So it gives me a 6-step process for how to start the carnivore diet when you're overwhelmed. But before I create content, I want to ask it to generate keywords for me to include in the blog post. Now, this is especially helpful if there are certain keywords you want the AI to use, for SEO. You can skip this step. This step isn't something you absolutely have to do, but it is helpful just to make sure you have the keywords. And then it's including a lot of keywords for me. So it's including primary keywords, secondary keywords, long tail keywords, giving me so many different keywords, right? Using a mix of these keywords will help optimize your blog post. Let's write the blog post. I'm just going to have it write the whole post for time's sake. So I'm just going to have it create a rough draft of the blog post. I'm limiting it to 900 words. I'm telling it to use varied sentence length and structure and include keywords from the list we generated naturally throughout the post. And then what I'm doing here is when writing the content, tailor to my customer avatar by using the language and words she frequently uses. And the reason I can do this is because in my customer avatar profile I created, I actually have words and phrases that she would use. And so that way ChatGPT can pull from that for the words and phrases to use for the blog post. How to start a carnivore diet when you're overwhelmed, step-by-step guide. And it has all the steps. It's actually pretty nice. The carnivore diet is all about going back to the basics. That means your meals will consist primarily of meat. So it's actually written pretty well. I don't see any glaring robotic type language here. It gives good tips what to avoid. So this ChatGPT wrote this all by itself, and it only took a few minutes, and now we have this 6-step article that, we obviously want to go in and read and make little changes to make it sound more like us. But you have a blog post that's done. That was only a couple minutes of time that we spent doing that. So it's just amazing how much ChatGPT can help you do stuff. And so just for fun, what I'm going to do here is we'll pick another idea, and we'll skip the outline, and we'll just ask it, let's do this listicle. And I'm just going to say, please write a 500-word blog post for this idea. You can actually see it's actually doing pretty well. I don't know. I'm not going to count 500 words. I just trust it to do that. But these are actually really good tips. Bring your own carnivore-friendly dish. Eat before you go. Stick to the basics at restaurants. Politely decline without over-explaining. Oh my gosh, how many people, when you're offered something and don't want it, need a way to politely decline something and not explain why you don't want it? So this is actually a really good tip. This kind of hits home for me. In just, a few minutes, we have 2 posts here, and I think we've only spent like 6 minutes on this. So you can see how fast ChatGPT is. And again, once your blog post is done, you want to make sure you read over it. I could probably sit here for another 15 minutes and get like 4 blog posts. So that's a whole month of content if I'm posting once a week. And I will tell you, the key to getting these responses and to have the writing be, more like my customer avatar is to provide ChatGPT with details about your customer avatar. And like I told you, you can either use a custom GPT that's trained on your customer avatar, or you can just attach your customer avatar profile. And it should be a detailed profile. You want to provide ChatGPT with a good bit of information. Now, before I let you go, I want to show you some additional ways that the AI can help you. You can ask the AI to generate ideas for titles for your blog post. If you need a summary of your blog post that you can use for social media, your newsletter, or even your email, you can ask the AI for that. You can use the AI to help you write meta descriptions that summarize your blog post. You can also ask the AI to do competitor analysis for you to help you find out who your competitors are, the types of content they're creating, and even what monetization methods they're using. The AI can also give you ideas for engagement strategies or even help you respond to comments. And if you need help, the AI can analyze your performance metrics and even make suggestions for improvement. Before you go, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to attend this workshop. I really appreciate your time, and I hope I provided you with enough value that you can understand how to get started with your blog and how ChatGPT can help you. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.